We're going to go over the biggest stocks of the week, just like SanDisk and several others. So be sure you stick around for the whole thing. My name is Christopher Ewell. I am a professional investor competing in the U.S. Investing Championship. And let's start with the market. The market rules all. And so let's go with the S&P 500 first. First thing that I see right here is we have a buy signal on the market. The trend of the market is definitely pushing higher. And we are getting brand new all-time highs. It seemed like every day this week we're getting new all-time highs. That's a very bullish sign. But I do see some cracks under the surface. One of the cracks being we're seeing weakening market breadth. This means more sell signals than buy signals coming through. And in fact, we're seeing less uptrends and more downtrends. So what this means here is that even though the market's pushing up higher, it's getting concentrated in fewer and fewer and fewer names. And if you look at the market for this week, where did money flow? It flowed into stocks like Google, Apple, Micron, Intel, Visa, Eli Lilly. But the rest of the market really didn't see a whole lot of moves. So where I'm trying to go with this is not a huge broad-based rally. This is really some concentration that's pushing these stocks up higher. But let's move on from that and let's start looking at stocks like AXTI. That's the first one I got on the list over here. Let's look at the news stories real quick on AXTI. Had earnings this week. Optical AI's biggest winners, 3 under the radar stocks. You've got upgraded to a buy. Here's what you need to know. Are you looking for a top momentum pick? Why AXTI is a great choice. A lot of bullish sentiment going on for AXTI, and I can't imagine why it wouldn't be. As you can see, it's pushing higher and higher and higher. But I do see a sell signal right here. It came through on Thursday, right? Is it the very top candle? Maybe one of the very top candles. Now, let's talk about what this means here. First, we talked about the market. That's 40% of the move of every stock is due to the market. 30% of the move of every stock is due to the sector. This right here is telling you if the sector is strong or if the sector is weak. And we can see in this sector, the tech sector, we're going to be looking at several tech stocks. We have bearish breadth, meaning that it's crossed over negative, getting more sell signals. And we also have bearish fear and greed, meaning it's getting less greedy on average. What it's doing is it's taking this chart right here, which is all the stocks in the tech sector, and it's putting that over time to show how many stocks are greedy or fearful and how high they are on the greed and fear scale. And you can see it's actually waning, meaning the stocks are getting more fearful on average in this sector. And then the last 30% is through the stock itself. So you're looking at AXTI. It does have a bullish trend, but it just got that sell signal. So you got to be wary of that. Fear and greed, it's also getting a little bit more fearful, but it doesn't have any outlier blocks in the way. Now, what are outlier blocks? These are areas of support and resistance on the charts. And right here, I don't see any on top of that. So if you're in AXTI, just know that we got that sell signal in place. Of the 9 of outlier 9, it only has 4. So let that sink in just real quick. You decide if that's something for you. Let's go look at Seagate next. STX, the most overvalued memory stock, might be the best pick. Here are the big winners. STX. SanDisk joins Western Digital, Seagate, and signaling strong AI surge in demand. The HDD trade just crushed everything in April. Western Digital and STX lead the picks and shovels rotation. Look at STX right here. Buy signal came through on April 2nd. Now, remember, this is in the same sector. This is in the same market. So we're going to look at it objectively over here. Buy signal came through on April 2nd. It's been pushing up higher and higher on the greed scale. Greed is almost pegging at 100 right here, but it is starting to come back down. And the sell signal came on the very top candle on STX, which there were so many haters I saw online who said STX can't go higher and higher and higher. STX said, hold my beer. From April 2nd to today, where that sell signal came through, SanDisk went up 80%. Seagate, not SanDisk. Seagate went up 80% in that time frame. Are you holding it? Let me know in the chat down below. I would love to hear from you if you were holding on to STX. But now may be a great time to sell it because that sell signal just came through. Let's go to the next one. SanDisk. Okay, here's SanDisk here. SNDK. SanDisk has a thumping quarter with on AI boom. Stocks just had their biggest month ever. The memory trade is faltering as Western Digital stock slides. So this is another one like STX. We've got SNDK. Now, because SNDK is not all that old, we need 5 years of data. So we don't have the buy and sell signal nor the fear and greed to generate with SNDK. But since this is in the tech sector, let's go to XLK, which is the tech sector ETF, and we can use that as a proxy. Still sitting on a buy signal for the XLK, and fear and greed is still growing on XLK. So even though we don't have those on SanDisk because it's not old enough yet to generate that data, you can look at it right here. So yeah, it looks really, really strong. In fact, let's go to the SNDK chart. SNDK. Yeah, another one of those stocks that says, hold my beer. Let me show you how it's done. And is ripping, ripping, ripping higher. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go to Nvidia. I own Nvidia. I actually have been in Nvidia since April 10th. Now, the way that I trade is by buying deep in the money options, and you need to subscribe because every single trade that I've made in this in Nvidia has been done live here on YouTube, and you can follow along with that if you'd like to. I have a 100% risk-free trade in Nvidia. Every ATR, then it rolled up here. I rolled up my deep in the money options over here. And this is just notes to keep track of it. Again, every single trade is done live. And even though it has pulled back, I still have zero risk in the trade. I've taken enough credits to completely offset the debit that I took in Nvidia. So I'm interested. What's going on? Did Nvidia just deliver a breakout fake out? Oh, I know it sounds crazy, but I keep buying the stock. Nvidia used to benefit from AI spending increases, so I had the stock just slide from Intel to Nvidia. Tech CEOs are embracing quantum, why it matters. So yeah, Nvidia is not acting the same as the last few stocks that we've looked at for sure. But let's look at it objectively. It still has a bullish trend, and we have defined that with the 10 EMA, the 20 EMA, and the 50 EMA. When the 10 is over the 20 and price is over the 50, that is a bullish trend. Next, it still has that buy signal in place. The fear and greed is actually still rising, and there are no outlier blocks in the way of it. It actually has a bullish outlier block right there that could be some support. So that's Nvidia right there. That's a stock that I own right now, and I don't have a sell signal, so I'll continue to hold it. Let's go on to Intel. Intel, oh my gosh, Intel. Have you seen Intel this week? What a rocket ship this has been. Now, this is the one I wish I had bought instead of Nvidia. What a huge rocket ship. Look at this gap and go. Don't be afraid of gap candles. Don't be afraid of them at all, right? It gapped up 20-something%, and yet it continues to move higher and higher and higher. What you want to do if you do see a gap right here is just put a line at the low of that candle. And if it closes under that line within 3 days, consider getting out. If it doesn't close under the low of the gap candle, you can hold on to that. You can see a gap and go like Intel. And man, continues to rip higher. Everything looks beautiful on Intel stock right here. Still has the buy signal in place. So how high is that buy signal gone? 96%, 100% growth on this stock. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. It doubled, literally doubled since that buy signal came through. Jeez Louise. So you definitely want to pick this up. This is OVTLYR. So you want to grab this at OVTLYR.com, OVTLYR. It's only 82 cents a day, and you'll get access to the exact same signals I'm showing you right here. Let's look at Nokia. Nokia had this big move up. Where's the buy signal? Big move up. The buy signal came April 10th, had a sell signal come through on April 28th, but a fresh buy signal just came through on Nokia. So be sure you're taking a look at Nokia this week because, like I say, it just got a fresh buy signal and it is moving. It is moving. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple's China sales jumped 28%. Now analysts are rethinking Apple. Steve Jobs gave Tim Cook advice. I guided him as Apple's CEO. Now it's Cook's advice to pay it forward. Apple expects significantly higher memory costs to impact the iPhone. Tim Cook's tariff refund strategy shows why he's called the Trump whisperer. Tim Cook steps down. Apple hits record sales, but chip shortages loom. Okay. So some mixed news there, but Apple still has the buy signal in place and is pushing up higher with that trend. Fear and greed is still pushing up higher as well. Just keep in mind, there is an outlier block right here. That is an area of congestion that it might struggle to get through if you are owning Apple. Let's go on to SoFi. Oh, SoFi bros. The SoFi bros, their love for SoFi runs so deep. I am not a SoFi bro. I traded SoFi last year and actually lost money on it. How did you lose money on it? I got my sell signal. It turned around. It went up without me, and that's totally fine. But right now, SoFi schedules 2026 annual meeting. SoFi is being investigated for securities fraud. Well, that's not good. Stevens trims the SoFi price target to $25. Target to $25? What is SoFi trading at right now? SoFi is a $16 stock. They trim their price target to $25. You realize that it's got to go up how much? SoFi has to go up 50% to reach that price target. Okay. This person says, time to load up. We didn't raise guidance because we didn't think it'd be any rate cuts this year, says SoFi CEO. Yeah. SoFi, this is a brutal stock. It did get a sell signal back on April 24th before earnings. Before the earnings came, it got that sell signal. So you would have known to get out of the way. Yeah. Oh, this is rough. So since that sell signal came through, in fact, let's do this. It got the sell signal on Thursday. And so here is the sell signal to where it is now. It's only down 13%. It's only down 13% since the sell signal come through. Another reason why you might want to pick up OVTLYR. I think your portfolio would have been very happy had you not lost 13% of your investment by using that sell signal. And let's go to our final stock of the day, Robinhood. We talked about SoFi. Let's talk about HOOD. They got rid of pattern day trading. This has got to help it, right? Is HOOD stock a buy at 70? Kathy Woods buys tumbling Robinhood. It has to go up if Kathy Woods buys it, right? The NYSE is going 24/7. This stock could surge by triple digits. I don't want the stocks to trade 24/7. I would like to sleep. That would be great. Robinhood earnings show significant deceleration in revenue growth. Is this a red flag? Well, you know what was that red flag? A big red flag right there on the chart in OVTLYR. A sell signal on Friday before earnings, before it tanked. Let's go look at the HOOD chart real quick. Yeah, oof. Down 14% post earnings. Down 14% post earnings. It got hit with the same sellers that took out SoFi. Now, listen, I don't want this to happen to you. I want you to go grab OVTLYR over at OVTLYR.com, OVTLYR.com. And if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, first hit subscribe and then click one of these two videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.